Clinton, Hazel's coming over tomorrow? Why didn't you say anything? She just called me and said she was on her way, but I had no clue.
Yeah? So what? She's my sister. She can come whenever she wants. Is that a problem?
Of course it's a problem. Don't you remember that we have plans tomorrow? We're taking Sandra to the zoo. We already got the tickets and everything. Are you going to ditch us for Hazel?
Why do I have to go with you? You can take Sandra by yourself. I'm staying home with Hazel tomorrow. She's pregnant, you know? She needs me more than you do. I don't have time for silly things like the zoo.
If she's pregnant, then why is she traveling all this way? Why don't you go and see her instead? Why are you making her come here if she's your priority?
What are you talking about? She's not just visiting. She's moving in with us. She's going to have her baby here. It's better for her and the baby to be in the suburbs than in the city. She's going to live with us until she finds a place of her own.
What? You never told me that. She's moving in with us from tomorrow, and you're telling me now?
Why do I have to tell you? It's my house, and I can do whatever I want with it. I don't need your permission to let my sister stay with us. I don't care what you think.
How can you say that? I'm your wife, and this is my home too. You can't just make decisions like this without me. We're supposed to be a team. We're supposed to talk things over.
Yeah, right. You don't want to talk. You just want to complain. You're just jealous of Hazel because she's younger and prettier than you are. And because everyone loves her and not you. So you want to kick her out of our house? You're so selfish, Grace.
That's not true at all. How can you accuse me of being jealous of Hazel? I don't even know her that well. I've barely met her a few times.
Exactly. You don't know her, and you don't care about her. You're a woman, so you should understand how hard it is to be pregnant. You should be more supportive and welcoming of her. But no, you're too busy being a bitch.
How dare you call me that? Are you trying to teach me how to be a good woman? You're the one who's not listening to me at all. I'm not saying that Hazel shouldn't have her baby. I'm happy for her, and I hope she has a healthy pregnancy and a beautiful child. But this is different. This is about letting your sister live with us without telling me or asking me how I feel about it.
There's nothing different about it. You're just making excuses because you hate her. Fine, whatever. I'm done talking to you about this. You know what? This is why my family hates you too. They can't stand you, in case you haven't noticed. Maybe if you tried harder to be nice and respectful to them, they would accept you as part of our family. But no, this is what we get.
Wow, you're unbelievable. You don't care about how I feel at all. You don't care about Sandra being disappointed that you're not going to the zoo with her. You don't care about anything but yourself. And what's this about James moving in with us too?
He's Hazel's husband. Of course he's coming with her. What kind of question is that?
Have you ever met him before?
No, I haven't. But Hazel loves him, so he must be a good guy. I trust her choice completely. There's nothing to worry about. We're lucky to have them both in our house. You should be grateful that I made this decision.
Your parents don't seem to think so. They told me some bad things about him. Are you sure you want to let him stay with us? I know you want to help your sister, but he's a total stranger. You need to think this through.
Why do you always have to nag me about everything I do? Why can't you just shut up and follow my lead? Fine, if you can't accept that Hazel and James are going to live with us, then maybe you should pack your bags and go.
What? You're joking, right?
No, I'm not. Take Sandra and get out of here. Then you won't have to deal with Hazel and James. Isn't that what you want? Go find another place where you can do whatever you want and leave me alone here. I don't need a jealous woman like you around my sister when she's about to have a baby.
You can't be serious.
Yes, I am. I'm Hazel's brother. She's having a baby soon, and she needs me more than anyone else. It's my duty to be there for her no matter what. Even if it means losing my own wife, I'm going to stand by my sister. You and Sandra don't need me like she does, so you'll be fine on your own. So get out. Get out for Hazel's sake.
Is that all you have to say to me?
Yeah, get out and don't come back. Get out before you infect my precious sister with your negativity. You don't belong here anymore.
Hi, Grace. It's me, Hazel, Clinton's little sister. I just wanted to let you know that I changed my mind and decided to come over today instead of tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be too hot, you know? So I'll see you tonight, okay?
What? You're coming over tonight?
Yeah, we got an earlier train because it was cheaper, and we got to the station faster than we thought. I'm so exhausted, so I was hoping you could make dinner for me and James. Oh, and make sure it's something really yummy. We'll be there in half an hour, so it would be nice if dinner was ready by then. No pressure. No pressure or anything, just I'm starving. And you don't want to make me mad. I'm pregnant. You know how sensitive I am.
You're going to be there in half an hour? That's not going to work, Hazel. You should have told me sooner.
Fine, fine. Then I'll take a bath first and then have dinner later. Easy? Got it. You can whip up something while I'm relaxing in the tub. There, I told you. Happy now? Miss? You should have told me sooner. Ugh, you're so annoying. I'm hungry, so hurry up and get cooking for me and James, okay?
Wait a second. Can you listen to me for once instead of making decisions on your own? I'm having dinner with Sandra right now, and if you want a decent meal, I'm going to have to go out and get more groceries. That's going to take a lot more time than you think.
Are you kidding me? Don't you have anything in the house? Oh my god, how incompetent are you?
I wasn't expecting anyone, so I don't have much right now. If you really want me to make something while you're in the bath, why don't you just pick some stuff up from the store on your way here? That way, you can choose what I make for you too, without me having to guess what you might like.
How dare you make me go and buy stuff for you? Don't you know that I'm pregnant? How could you say something like that to me? You're so mean.
You mean buy stuff for yourself? I'm just asking you to buy the ingredients for the dinner you want me to make for you. I think that's only fair, especially since I didn't know you were coming to live with us until a few hours ago. Besides, you're coming with your husband, right? You're not alone, so I don't see why it would be so hard to stop by the store. It's not far from here.
Wow. Now you're trying to use my husband as your errand boy? Oh my god. You're even worse than I thought you were. I mean, I thought you would be happy that we were coming to live with you, but now I see your true colors. You're so arrogant. It's no wonder everyone hates you. Like, really hates you. You don't know how much our family hates you. They never wanted Clinton to marry you, you know? Now I see why.
You're calling me arrogant? You and your brother are cut from the same cloth. You don't realize when the things you say come back to bite you. Fine then. How about I make something stir-fried? It's the fastest thing I can make with what I have in the fridge.
Really? You're gonna make something stir-fried? That's so lame. I want something healthy. I'm pregnant, remember? I need something good for this baby, not cheap junk food. We're coming all this way to stay with you guys, so why don't you order some sushi or something? It's so much healthier and has fewer calories too. And maybe it would do you some good too, since it looks like you've put on some weight since the last time I saw you.
Fine then, I'll order some sushi. I'll call a place I know. What kind do you want?
Oh my god, you're so clueless. I was just giving you an example. You don't have to order sushi. Seriously, can't you use your brain? I thought you had some common sense, Grace. Oh, I get it. You're probably terrible at your job too. Am I right? I'm always right.
Well, I've used my brain and I've decided that sushi is the best option. So I'm going to order sushi.
Oh, you're hopeless, aren't you? You can't make a single decision on your own. Can't you be a little more considerate? Just so you know, James is very fussy about his sushi. Like, he notices every detail. We only eat brown rice, and it has to have avocado and no cream cheese. If there's anything wrong with the sushi, James is going to flip out. Like, totally lose it. You don't want to mess with James when he's angry, so I suggest you be careful not to upset him, especially since you're already upsetting me, which is... But I'm a saint.
Is that so?
Is that all you can say? You're so dull. Anyway, we'll be there soon, so have something ready for us. Oh yeah, and don't forget to prepare the bath for me.
Can't you make her shut up? I'm getting a headache from all the noise. I'm trying to sleep over here, so get her to stop crying already.
Why do you think she's crying? She's upset that you're not going to take her to the zoo tomorrow, even though you promised you would take her out. It's the first time you've promised to have a full day with her, and she was really looking forward to it. So of course she'd start crying. Besides, I was the one who had to tell her because she was asking if Hazel was going to come with us. Why don't you come out and apologize to her and explain why you're not going to take her to the zoo? Can't believe you. How can you sleep at a time like this?
Why should I care? I'm staying home with my little sister tomorrow, so you take her to the zoo instead. I don't get why I have to take her when you have time to take her yourself.
Because she wants to spend some time with you. She wants to have a fun day out with her daddy. If you don't understand that, then I'll leave. Just like you told me to, and never come back. I'm going to give Sandra the happiness she deserves. She doesn't deserve to be disappointed by you like this.
What? Are you actually being serious? You're going to leave?
Yeah, I'm being serious. Why would I stay with a man who can't make some time for his own little girl? I don't want to see Sandra crying like this anymore. It's best for her if she just forgets about you. I've already prepared the divorce papers, so make sure you sign them tomorrow morning before I leave with Sandra. I'm not spending one more night at this house.
Do what you like, but I'm warning you. Once you leave, you can't come back. I'm not helping you even if you come begging for me to take you back.
Sure, I'm absolutely fine with that. I hope you understand that the same goes for you too. No matter what happens with those two. Don't come crawling to me. I hope you get on well with your new roommates.
Yeah, I will. It's my first time meeting James, but he's a really nice guy. I think we'll all get along just fine. He can hold his liquor and we have the same interests too. I think I'm going to have a lot more fun living with these two than I ever did with you and Sandra. You and Sandra will just get in the way here, so you're right. It's best that you leave and never come back.
That's what I was planning to do. So, you accept the divorce?
Yeah, it's the best idea you've ever had. Hey, Grace, you can come back now.
Excuse me?
You've had plenty of time to reflect on what you did, so I'll let you come back if you apologize to me and my sister.
I'm sorry. What? What do I have to apologize for? You really think I'm coming back? That's hilarious. I don't have any intention of getting back together with you. Sandra and I are so much happier without you.
What? But you were the one asking me if I was being serious when I told you to leave. Now I'm saying that you can come back, so you should be happy.
I was shocked that you told me to leave, but once I saw how upset Sandra was about the zoo, I decided for myself that it was best that we leave, and that hasn't changed. If anything, I was happy that I was given the chance. I feel so much better now that we're away from you. And Sandra no longer has to get her heart broken by you. It's the best thing I ever did. I managed to get away from a self-centered ass like you, and away from that childish, selfish bully of a little sister. I still don't even know what kind of person that James guy is, but I could sense that he was troubled the second he walked through our door. It was the right choice for me to separate you and those two from Sandra. I don't know what might have happened to her if we stayed with you.
Hey, you don't want to go that far. Don't insult me just because you found an apartment out of state and think you're safe. Don't get ahead of yourself, Grace. Anyway, I'll forget what you said, so just hurry and come back. You're lucky I'm even giving you this chance.
I'm not coming back, Clinton. There's nothing you can say to convince me to get back together with you. Anyway, why are you so bent on getting me back? You're the one who wanted me out and wanted to live with your little sister. What changed?
I don't have any money, so please come back. I've told you the truth. So will you just come back? How much more do you want me to beg?
You want me to come back because you don't have any money? You've got to be joking! Why should I care about your financial situation? We're not married anymore. Deal with it yourself.
It's not my fault. Hazel and James were supposed to pitch in with the bills and stuff. That's what we decided when they moved in. But it's just that. Well, James wasn't so happy with that idea.
Huh? I knew it. Do you remember me asking you if you had met him before you offered to let him live with us? But you said that you trusted Hazel's judgment, remember? I knew that he wasn't the type to go out and work for himself. He's much too arrogant and too aggressive to be able to cooperate in a work environment.
I know I was stupid. I wanted to hit myself for not realizing what kind of a guy he was sooner. I really do regret letting him stay with us. But that's why I'm asking you for help. Why can't you understand that?
So, what kind of person did he turn out to be?
In the beginning, he was a great guy. Friendly, generous. He was kind of rough and brutish, but he didn't seem like a bad guy, so he was growing on me. But the more time passed, the more he changed. Or the more he was acting like his usual. He was talking down to me a lot and spending most of his time sleeping around the house. I was kind of getting really scared of him.
Oh, really?
But that was still, I could overlook that. It's just recently, he's been bringing his friends around without telling me. It's some really big, strong-looking guys. I met some of them when I came home from work the other day, and I found out that he's part of a gang. They've been coming and going whenever they want because James gave them a spare key to the house. He made the keys without even asking me. My house has become their base of operations or something. There's always someone here.
He's part of the gang? Well, I'm not surprised.
Listen to me, Grace. I tried to get away in the middle of the night. I planned it and everything. I worked out times that James would definitely be sleeping, but he found me. I was so scared that he might do something to me, but he told me that I had to fund their activities if I wanted to be forgiven. They're watching me day and night so that I can't escape. I don't know what to do. I don't have the kind of money that they're asking for.
How's Hazel doing? Does she know what's happening?
She's working with them. She's threatening me for money too. They were planning on doing this all along. She told me that the only reason she wanted to live with me was because she needed the money. They've taken over the house. You've got to help me. I can't handle living with this anymore.
I don't have any obligation to help you. Especially not after what I've had to suffer with you. I don't have any intention of giving you any money. So you can hand it over to Hazel and her husband. You've got to do something about it by yourself. You were saying that you would do anything for your precious little sister, remember? That's why you told us to get out. So why don't you go ahead and do that?
Well, yeah, I said that. But I didn't know what she was up to. I wouldn't have said that if I knew she was gonna try and use me for the money.
Why should I care? We're strangers now. I don't have to help you. You're the one who told me not to come begging for help once I left. I have to prioritize Sandra and her happiness. So I'm not going to help you when it's obvious that they're just going to keep asking you for money. I don't want you calling me anymore, do you understand? You don't have any right to bother me.
Hey, wait a second, just hear me out, please. You've got to lend me some money. Just a couple $100.
No way! Use your own money or find a way to earn more.
Hazel's pregnant. Can you really ignore us when we're in trouble? How heartless can you be? It's not the baby's fault that Hazel and James can't earn any money for themselves. Don't you feel sorry for the baby? It's going to be born into a house that's been taken over by some gang. I'm only staying so I can help the baby. It doesn't deserve to live like this. Only we can help the baby. So lend me some money, Grace.
How do you plan on saving a baby that doesn't even exist?
What are you talking about? Of course it exists. It's going to be born soon. It's going to need me to save it.
But Hazel is not pregnant, is she?
What?
I knew from the beginning. You must have thought that you had me deceived, but I knew. A few days before she moved to our place, I saw her. I happened to see her in town when I was shopping. And she was not pregnant. She didn't have a baby bump. But that same week, you told me that she was due to have a baby in a few weeks. It sounded fishy, and I thought you were being ridiculous on purpose.
You mean you couldn't see her baby bump because she was wearing baggy clothing, right?
No, I mean, she didn't have a bump. The clothes she was wearing showed that she had a very slender waist. It was just a few days before she came to our house, so she should have had a pretty major bump, but she didn't. Besides, no matter how baggy the clothes are, you can't completely hide a bump when you move around. And I don't know if you've forgotten, but I've been pregnant before. When she came to our house, she had a cushion or something stuffed down her shirt. It was so obvious that it wasn't a real baby bump. I guess she doesn't understand yet that babies are actually pretty heavy when they're in your stomach. I knew that they were up to no good when they came. And I knew that you were cooperating with them to get me and Sandra out of the house.
I can't believe you. You actually knew. Yeah, that's what we were planning in the beginning. I thought up a way to get you to leave with Sandra. And we were going to work together. We were going to start a company together from this house. I thought we were all going to make an effort to earn money to start that company, but everything changed.
That's how they convinced you to let them live with you. It's hilarious that you managed to get tricked by that.
After you left, they completely changed. They started spending more time in the house with their friends while I went to work to earn some money. Then they started asking me for money and they didn't put any money into the house. I've been surrounded by gang members, people that I don't know for the past few weeks. They're always watching me, making sure that I go back home and go to work. They've taken over my bank account.
But that's all your own fault. I told you to rethink letting them stay with us. Anyway, I've had enough of hearing about your sob story. The only thing I've got to say is that I told you so. Goodbye, Clinton.
What? Wait a minute, you can't be serious. Grace, pick up the phone. I'm begging you. I need your help. You're the only one who can save me.
Fine, I'll hear you out. But don't expect any sympathy from me. I'm just curious to see how much you screwed up.
Listen, I managed to escape from the house and I'm on the run. But they're after me. They want to kill me. You have to let me stay at your place.
Don't be ridiculous, Clinton. And don't you dare bring any trouble here. Sandra's with me and I won't put her in danger for you. Forget about our address.
I'm not lying, it's true. I have proof of their illegal activities. I found something and I took it with me. They've been using that house as a hideout for their crimes. They've been dealing with some stuff.
I don't care. That's not my problem. Why don't you go to the cops? You can get them out of your house by turning them in. If you have proof, then it should be easy.
I can't do that. I'm involved too. I'll go to jail with them. No, I have a plan. I'll use this as leverage. I'll make them an offer they can't refuse. That's why you need to let me crash at your place, so that I can get ready before I face them. Please, otherwise they'll find me and finish me off.
Alright, fine. Come to the address I'm sending you.
Grace, thank you. You're a lifesaver. You're the best thing that ever happened to me. Hey, what are you doing? Why did you run away? Give me back those papers. They're my ticket to freedom. Give them back. What are you going to do with them?
I'm going to take this to the police. If I do that, you and your friends will all go down. And I'll be free of you forever. Sandra and I will have a happy life.
How could you do this to me?
You did this to yourself. Don't you get that? Maybe you should try being more considerate and respectful of others. If you did that, then maybe people would be more willing to help you out. I delivered the documents I had snatched from Clinton to the police and cooperated with their inquiry. The papers revealed that the gang Hazel and James belonged to had a hand in some various scams and schemes that had plagued the area. The police rounded up Hazel, James, Clinton, and dozens of other crooks in a massive raid. All of them, except Clinton, faced multiple charges and were sent to prison without delay. Clinton got off with a suspended sentence of 2 years, but he couldn't stay out of trouble. I reclaimed the house he had kicked me out of and fixed it up before selling it for a good price. Clinton had nothing left after his release. He had no money, no home, no friends.
Hey, Rebecca, is Grandpa behaving himself lately?
Well, yeah, he's pretty much the same and just chilling in bed, catching up on some rest. Don't worry too much. I'll make sure to keep an eye on him.
Remember to keep Grandpa in check and make sure he doesn't go off on his own again. Ever since he hurt himself in the garden, he's been causing a lot of trouble for our family. It's seriously annoying how he keeps forgetting that he's in his 80s and tries to tackle things that are way beyond his abilities. Gosh, old people can be such a nuisance. I wish they'd think about those of us who have to take care of them and give us a break.
Ryan, why are you talking like that? It's not exactly a nice way to say about Martin.
Oh, no worries, Rebecca. You know how much he's been slipping lately, right? Ever since he retired and passed the company on to my dad, he hasn't been himself anymore. Honestly, I can't handle the fuss of old people. But you're a pro at it, so I'm sure you'll handle taking care of Martin just fine.
Well, I don't mind at all taking care of Martin. But it's important to remember that he also longs for the presence of his children and grandchildren. He wants them to be there for him, to shower him with care and affection.
No way! I ain't got time for that. You know Martin already handed the company over to my dad, right? Sooner or later, my old man's gonna pass the torch to me and make me the boss. Until then, I gotta buckle down and work on honing my leadership skills to ensure I can steer the company towards success.
I understand. But it wouldn't hurt to kick back with Martin every now and then and see how he's doing, you know? Your grandpa really misses hanging out with you. He often reminisces about the good old days when you two would go fishing or take a stroll in the park. You used to have a lot of fun hanging out with Martin, right?
Oh, come on, don't give me that sentimental stuff. You realize it's been like over 30 years since those good old days you're bringing up, right? I mean, seriously, do you expect me to stay Grandpa's little kid forever? We all gotta grow up, and that includes you too. So let's cut out the nonsense and get real here.
I'm sorry, but can I just share my honest thoughts on this?
Tell me then. We're husband and wife. No need for all that formal talk between us.
Look, I gotta be real with you. It seems like everyone in our family has been acting differently towards Martin ever since he retired from his top job as a chairman at the company. I gotta say, it's hard not to notice that you've been kinda careless in how you've been treating him. You come off as cold and distant whenever Martin's around.
Huh? Wait, what's with the sudden questions? Like I already mentioned, I'm not some obedient little kid of Grandpa's anymore. You seriously need to tell him to let go of those crazy nostalgic memories from way back when. It's time to get real and move on, you know?
I'm not saying you have to give Martin some kind of VIP treatment. I'm just asking you to show a little kindness every now and then. But honestly, whenever Grandpa tries to talk to you, it's like you barely give him the time of day. And when he took a spill in the garden and messed up his leg the other day, you didn't even lift a finger to help or show any concern.
Man, seriously? Who's got the time to deal with useless old people like Martin? Look, since you're the one who stays at home, you're basically the only person in our family with some free time to take care of him. I mean, what else are you good for if you're just lounging around at home all day and not doing anything?
Hey, there's no need to speak about me in that manner. Do you even realize that I'm the only one who actually spends time talking to Martin in our family now?
Oh, come on. Can you just zip it? I'm exhausted from work, so spare me your nagging about petty stuff. Just focus on your own business and handle the housework for me. I want the entire house to be squeaky clean by the time my dad and I get back from work. Oh, and don't forget to dedicate some serious time to cleaning Martin's room. He's been smelling so awful that no one wants to come within a mile of him anymore.
Hey, Rebecca. It's your mother-in-law here. Everything cool back home, dear? Listen, we might be running a bit late today, so you and Grandpa go ahead and have dinner without us, all right?
Wait, when you say we, do you mean my husband and father-in-law are coming too? Where exactly are you all heading today?
Wait, did you not catch any of that? We're actually planning to build a totally fresh house for ourselves to live in. That's why we thought it'd be good to go out for dinner and talk more about our plans for the new crib. You know, when it comes to a brand new house, there's so much to consider. We gotta think about the location, the type of house, the interior and exterior design, and all that jazz.
Build a new house? I'm not sure if that's really necessary. I mean, everything seems to be working just fine in our current place, right? Plus, the air around here is so fresh, and the scenery is absolutely gorgeous. On top of that, Martin has a ton of memories in this house, and he's really attached to the place.
What are you talking about? Our current house is like 50 years old already. The layout is all wonky. It's a pain to navigate, and it's so far away from my husband's workplace. So, instead of wasting cash on repairs, wouldn't it be way smarter to build a new house in a more convenient spot?
Well, I guess you might have a point there. But honestly, nobody bothered to clue me in on this. I was completely left in the dark about the whole situation. And from what I can tell, Martin hasn't been informed either, because he hasn't mentioned a word about it to me.
Oh, my bad, sweetheart. I totally forgot. Your father-in-law and I actually had a chat with Brian about this yesterday. You were probably busy doing the dishes or something, so you missed the whole conversation.
It's okay, Tina, but building a new house is kind of a major thing, you know? Don't you think it's important for our entire family to come together and discuss it, instead of just the three of you? And most importantly, did you even ask Martin what he thinks about all of this?
Wait, what are you saying? Why bother asking for Martin's opinion? Of course he's gonna be on board with this. I mean, he's getting older by the day. It was lucky he only had a minor injury last time, but who knows what could happen in the future. So I figured, why not build a new house that's accessible and hassle-free? Just in case we need to take care of him.
Oh, alright. I understand.
You know what? We could totally plan the house in a way that puts Martin's room right in the middle, making it super convenient for everyone to take care of him. Once we settle in, Martin will be the star of the show, no doubt. And if we ever need to, we can even hire a professional caregiver to give him the best care possible.
Well, now that I think about it, it's actually not a bad idea at all. I have to admit, it's really heartwarming to see how much you care about Martin. I'm sure he'd be absolutely thrilled to hear about all this.
Absolutely, Rebecca. What are you even saying? Martin is my father-in-law, so it's only natural for a daughter-in-law to take care of him, don't you think? Martin has always been so kind to me since the day I joined the family. So building a new house where he can enjoy his golden years in peace is the least I can do to show my gratitude.
That's really sweet of you, Tina. Since it's a house for all of us to live in, should I also contribute my share to the construction costs? I just want to help out in the best way I can.
Oh, you? Contributing to the construction cost of the new house? Ha ha ha! That's a good one, Rebecca. We all know you're a stay-at-home wife. And let's be real, you haven't exactly been making any significant contributions around here, let alone financially. But hey, no need to stress about it, dear. Martin will handle everything. If you really want to, you can throw in your 2 cents. But let's face it, your spare change probably won't make much of a difference anyway.
Wait, what? I thought we were all going to chip in for the building expenses of the new house. You can't just expect Martin to foot the entire bill and not even bother to ask for his input like that.
No need to make a big deal out of nothing. I promise I'll include Martin in any money-related decisions, alright? Now, if you'll excuse me, I've got some serious planning to do about designing my new dream house. Catch you later! Rebecca, did Martin spill the beans about his massive debt to you? If that's the case, then we're in some serious trouble, aren't we?
Oh, you mean his debt of $1,820,000? Yeah, I got wind of that too, not too long ago. From what I know, Martin had become a co-signer for a loan for a friend's company, right?
No kidding. It's true. And now, with his friend's company going down the drain, Martin's stuck with that whopping debt. Can you believe it? How could he be so careless? He shouldn't have gotten himself into such a reckless situation. Now, who's gonna handle that ginormous pile of debt? Do you think they're gonna come after a house that's still in the works? You know we're in the middle of building our new family home, right?
I actually think the house will be alright. Did you hear anything from Mr. Davis, the company's lawyer? He informed me that since the house contract has already been finalized and it's under Harold's name, there's no risk of it being taken away.
Phew! Thank goodness! That's a huge relief to hear. I'm so glad we went with my idea and put the house in my husband's name instead of Martin's. Oh, by the way, what about the company? Does Martin's debt have any impact on it?
I already mentioned this before, but just to reiterate, it was signed in Martin's name, so there won't be any issues for the company. If you want more information, you can always reach out to Mr. Davis directly.
Wow, that's a huge relief. There's absolutely no problem at all. I can't help but laugh out loud about it. What a weight off our shoulders.
But Tina, can I be honest with you and ask you a question?
Well, of course you can. What is it?
Tina, I have a suggestion and I'd like your opinion. Considering Martin's overwhelming debt, what if we consider giving up the new house to help him repay what he owes? It seems fair, don't you think? After all, he's the one who solely covered all the expenses for the new house.
What in the world are you going on about? Did you lose your marbles or something? Look, this debt mess is all on Martin, and it's got nothing to do with us. So why should we go out of our way to help him pay it off? We're not dumb, you know.
Tina, can we please have some empathy for Martin? I mean, seriously, don't you feel any compassion for him at all? He was genuinely shocked when he found out about the debt. And let's not forget, he's in his 80s. It's not good for his mental well-being to go through such a tough situation. Let's try to understand and support him during this difficult time.
Hold up, Mrs. Know-It-All. Enough with the nonsense already. Mind your own business and stop trying to dictate what I should do. Got it? So, why don't you just stick to your lane and handle the housework for me? That's pretty much the only thing you're good at, right?
Hey, Rebecca. Remember when I specifically asked you to keep an eye on Martin? Did you actually do what I told you to do? Do you even realize that he's been nothing but trouble for us lately? It's been a rough week thanks to him.
I do my best to watch over him. But you have to understand that I have other responsibilities around the house, too. It's not like I just sit around doing nothing, you know? Can you please try to be more understanding of my situation once in a while?
Huh. Don't act like those household chores you've been doing are some kind of monumental task. They're merely child's play. If your only responsibility is to manage the house and take care of Martin, and you can't even handle that, then seriously, What exactly is your role in this house?
I told you, I really am doing my best. However, if Martin's health is seriously deteriorating, I believe it's time to consider professional care for him. Sometimes it's necessary to reach out to experts who can provide the specialized support he needs.
Oh, here we go again. You're always trying to shift the blame and avoid taking responsibility for your own comfort. Did you see the disaster Martin caused in the kitchen yesterday? It was a total mess.
I'm aware. Martin's behavior has been quite unusual ever since he found out about his massive debt. It's definitely had an impact on him and how he's been acting.
He's getting more and more unbearable, and honestly, I'm reaching my breaking point with him. You won't believe what happened the other day. I actually tried to be nice and asked if he liked his dinner. And guess what? He threw one of the most epic tantrums ever, like a little kid, and snapped at me saying, "Who are you calling Grandpa? I'm only 50. You have no right to call me that." Can you believe the nerve?
I'm sorry to hear that. It's definitely true that Martin has been acting a bit off lately. Sometimes he forgets my name or asks about his meal right after he's already eaten it. It's worrisome. And I can't help but think that his condition might be related to that massive $1,820,000 debt. Is there any way you can try to convince him to see a doctor? I've tried to take him to the hospital a few times, but he flat out refuses. I don't want to push him too hard because I'm afraid it might hurt his feelings. Especially since he's not completely forgetful.
Nah, he doesn't gotta go to the hospital. That old dude needs to be thrown out on the streets ASAP if he doesn't start acting better soon. We can't have a loony like Martin roaming around our place anymore. Who knows what wild stuff he might pull off next?
Listen, Brian, you're acting just as cold-hearted as your parents. It's painfully obvious to me that you couldn't care less about your grandfather, am I right? All you guys do is make jokes and laugh at him. You don't even seem to think about taking him to the hospital. Martin is your family, for goodness sake. Can you please show him a bit of concern at the very least?
Oh, come on. Why stress about some old geezer who's got limited time left on this planet anyway? Oh my god. It's seriously mind-blowing that Martin used to be some big-shot chairman. Now he's just acting like a total moron. Look, I'll sort things out and get him settled in some kind of homeless shelter by the end of the week. That way, you won't have to deal with that bonehead anymore. See how thoughtful I am?
But I thought Martin was gonna live with us in the new house. I believe his condition can improve if we provide him with the right treatment. I mean, he always seems aware of everything happening around him. He's not completely oblivious, you know?
Oh, believe me, it's just a matter of time before Martin starts forgetting everything. I bet he'll be wandering around, drooling, or even causing harm to us, the ones looking after him. You know what? Just the thought of it gives me the creeps. Martin's nothing but a total pain in the neck now.
Oh my goodness! I can't believe you just said that about Martin! How could you utter such hurtful words? You're fully aware of all the hard work and dedication he has put into our family throughout his entire life. We should be grateful for all that Martin has done and show him the respect and appreciation he deserves.
Say no more, Rebecca. I've made up my mind, and there's no changing it.
Way to go, Rebecca! Looks like you've got all our stuff packed up, huh? No worries. The relocation company will be here soon to give us a hand in hauling my things to the new house.
Oh, I was just wondering if it would be helpful for me to start packing not just my belongings, but also Martin's?
Nah, honey. What's up with that? You seriously think you and that creepy old geezer can move into my new house? In your dreams. Haha.
Huh? Are you saying this for real, Tina?
Oh, absolutely. Since Martin's sticking to his guns about not going to a homeless shelter, you'll have to hold down the fort at the old house and handle that stubborn mule. Besides, Brian's already made it crystal clear that Martin can't crash at the new place. Got it, love? No need for any extra baggage in our shiny new abode.
But I've noticed that Martin's condition has been improving steadily day by day. He doesn't cause nearly as much trouble as he used to, you know?
Hold up. No buts here. Look, I may be your mother-in-law, and you better believe you're gonna do as I said, alright? Starting now, you and Martin are gonna shack up in the old house. That means you get to play caretaker for him and his ginormous debt too. Ha ha ha! Well, I guess you've already settled into your role as a useless housekeeper, so this shouldn't come as a shocker, right? Anyways, my husband and son are waiting on me, so I better jet. Catch you later!
Wait a minute. Tina, please listen. You can't do this to Martin. You can't simply leave him behind like this.
Good luck with the debt repayment and live in care. I'm out of here.
Hey, Rebecca, are you there? Answer me. I've got something super important to ask you.
Yep, I'm here. What's up? If it's about our divorce, I already sent you the papers with my John Hancock on them. Did you sign your part yet?
Nah, it ain't about that. Is Grandpa kicking it with you? I swung by the old house, but you two weren't around. I know you put it up for sale, but seriously, it ain't worth a whopping $1,820,000. There's no way Grandpa can pay off his debt with the cash he got from selling the place, right? Is that why he pulled the trigger on that decision?
What do you mean? What decision?
Let me talk to Grandpa. My pops has been trying to reach him non-stop, but no luck. That scatterbrained old man has pulled off something wild and outrageous.
And what exactly did he do?
Stop playing dumb. He must have spilled the beans to you, right? He sold the company's stocks to the executive director, which made he became the largest shareholder. After that, a shareholders meeting and board meeting were held, and my dad was dismissed as president.
Well, what's the big shocker? From what I gather, the executive director is beloved and admired by the entire company. Martin's a smart cookie, so maybe he figured it was wiser to pass the torch to the executive director. Nothing too out of the ordinary, if you ask me.
What? This is straight up illegal. That sneaky executive director must have conned the senile old man into selling those stocks. I'm going to take both of them to court, no doubt about it.
Brian, listen up. There's something you gotta know. Martin isn't having any memory issues. In fact, he's looking sharper than ever, if you ask me.
Huh? What is that supposed to mean?
Look, let me break it down for you. Grandpa had his doubts ever since your mom started talking about building a new house for all of us to live in, including him. So, he cooked up a scheme. He acted like he had dementia to test how you and your parents would handle it. And just as Martin predicted, you guys showed your true colors real quick, one after another. And what did you do? You were so eager to cut me and Martin out of your life.
Whoa, wait a sec. So he was playing sick this whole time? That sly old fox. And you, I bet you were in cahoots with him, trying to pull a fast one on me and my parents, huh?
Nah, you got it all twisted, I swear. I had no clue about Martin's plan. He had me completely bamboozled. You want to know what he told me? He said, to fool the enemy, you gotta fool your own crew first. And there you have it.
But Martin can't just give the company to a complete stranger like that. It doesn't make any sense. My dad and I are his family.
Well, he didn't just randomly pass the company to the executive director, you know? Even after retiring, Martin stayed in the loop with updates from Mr. Davis and the executive director. He saw firsthand how you and your dad were mishandling things. You disregarded the employees' input, prioritized your own interests above theirs, and indulged in lavish expenses on the company's dime. Now you see why Martin made the call to leave it in the hands of the executive director, right?
What? I can't believe it. He got me completely fooled. But what about his massive debt of $1,820,000? It can't just magically vanish into thin air, right?
Well, that debt is gone now. Martin had been indeed a guarantor for a friend's debt. But he also owns personal assets that even exceeded that sum of debt. In fact, after stepping back from the company's operations, he had invested in real estate and made a considerable profit.
Wait, are you serious? Martin's been secretly raking in the dough without me knowing? So he's been squirreling away cash for himself, huh? Talk about being selfish.
I'm not done talking, Brian. So, the friend was the son of a benefactor who had helped Martin when he was young, and Martin felt the need to help him out. Since the countryside land that the son owned was going to be developed into a resort, he was able to sell it for a high price. So there was no need to take on the debt. See? There wasn't any problem at all in the first place.
No way! Why didn't you tell me the truth earlier? If you had clued me in, we wouldn't have left you and Martin in the dust. Do you know what happened to me and my dad? We were both denounced by the company.
Well, I don't want to rub salt in your wound. But please be mindful that there's also the mortgage on the new house.
Hold up. What mortgage on the house? What are you talking about? Grandpa was supposed to cover all the house's expenses. No strings attached.
Haven't you pieced it together yet? Let me jog your memory about what Martin said back then. When Tina brought up the house expenses, Martin laid down a condition. If it's a house where everyone, including me, will live. In other words, if that condition wasn't met, he wouldn't shell out a single penny. I bet your dad simply assumed that Martin would foot the bill, so he didn't even bother scrutinizing the documents before signing. Am I right?
No! This can't be happening! Do you have any idea how much that new house cost? How the heck are my dad and I going to handle the mortgage now that we lost our jobs at the company? Please, Rebecca, talk to Martin and ask him to help us out with the house payments, or we're going to lose it all. Listen, I messed up, all right, but give me a shot to make things right. I'll bring you and Martin to the new house. We can get married again, and we'll all live happily ever after as one big crazy family.
Sorry, but seriously, it's like way too late for an apology now. So, enjoy shelling out for the mortgage. Goodbye.
Hey, Rebecca, please, just hear me out for a sec, all right? I'm head over heels for you. You're my one and only, and I want everything to go back to the way it was. No kidding, Rebecca. Can you please let me know if you're there? Please take me in, Rebecca!
Subsequently, my ex-husband and his parents faced the unfortunate consequence of losing the house they had built due to their inability to meet the mortgage payments. Now, they live in a dilapidated apartment that's more than 50 years old, struggling to repay the outstanding loan. Brian and Tina had been reaching out to me separately, pleading for us to live together, but that's simply not feasible anymore. Thanks to Mr. Davis, the divorce was officially concluded, and measures were taken to ensure that my former father-in-law and ex-husband were excluded from Martin's inheritance. Speaking of Martin, he has purchased an old yet charming house in the countryside, and we now reside there together. He assured me that I needn't worry about living expenses and could choose to live wherever I pleased. But I made the decision to remain by his side, since he's the only closest family I have left. I have now become Martin's adopted daughter, and I am committed to taking care of him until the very end if anything were to happen.
Hi, Daddy. Do you have any idea what time you might be able to make it home tonight?
Well, sweetheart, it looks like it's going to be a long day at the office. I have a lot of work to finish and some meetings to attend. I'll probably be wrapping up and heading home around 7 p.m. Why do you ask?
Oh, nothing much. Just that I thought I'd take over the kitchen duties tonight. I'm planning on cooking up some chicken breasts and baked potatoes for dinner.
Really? That sounds fantastic. Chicken breasts and baked potatoes are my absolute favorite. You know how much I love them.
Yes, I know. We had a cooking lesson at our home economics class at school today. The teacher taught us how to make them. And guess what? She said mine were the best in the class. She said they were juicy, tender, and flavorful. So I thought, why not make them for dinner tonight?
That's wonderful, Jenny. I'm really looking forward to tasting your cooking. If it's as good as you say, maybe you can take over the kitchen more often. You know I'm not very good at cooking, and Mom is always busy with work.
Well, just a heads up. If you don't finish everything on your plate, I might get a little upset. I've put a lot of effort into this. I've even prepared a salad and a dessert to go with the main course.
Oh, don't worry about that at all. I'm sure it's going to be delicious, and I'm very hungry right now, so I'll probably eat everything you make. By the way, isn't Mom going to be home for dinner tonight?
No, she mentioned this morning that she has to work late again and won't be able to join us for dinner. She said she has an important project to finish and a deadline to meet.
Oh, I see. I wasn't aware of that. Well then, I'll try my best to wrap up here as soon as possible and head home. See you in a bit.
Okay, can't wait for you to try my cooking. I hope you like it as much as I do.
Kayleen, are you there?
Huh? What is it that you need? I'm currently swamped with work. I have a lot of deadlines to meet and a lot of reports to write.
Kayleen, are you planning on working late again tonight?
Yes, I am. Is there a problem with that?
Kayleen, remember our conversation last night? You promised me that you'd try to come home early today. We agreed that we should try to minimize the time Jenny spends alone at home.
Did I say something like that? I don't recall making such a promise. Besides, there's not much I can do about it. It's work. Working moms are always busy.
That's not a valid excuse, Kayleen. We're both busy. We had a discussion about this just the other day. We agreed that we need to be more present in Jenny's life. She needs our attention and support, especially at this age.
What? Are you trying to paint me as the villain here?
That's not my intention, Kayleen. We made a mutual decision to try harder for Jenny's sake. You've been working a lot of overtime these past few months. And you've been delegating household chores to Jenny too, haven't you? She's still in junior high. She should be focusing on her studies or spending time with her friends, not doing laundry and cooking dinner for us.
What's the big deal? If you're so concerned about Jenny being alone and doing housework, why don't you quit your job and stay at home?
And have us all live off of your income? You're a temporary worker, Kayleen. Your income isn't stable enough to support us all. You don't have any benefits or security in your job.
Oh, so now you're looking down on me because I'm a temp worker? You're such a hypocrite! You were the one who encouraged me to get a job in the first place. And now that I have one, you're still not satisfied? You're impossible!
I'm not looking down on anyone, Kayleen. You suggested that I quit my job, and I'm just explaining why that's not feasible. And let's not forget that you don't contribute any of your earnings towards our family expenses or bills. If I were to stop working, we wouldn't be able to maintain our current lifestyle. We'd have to cut back on a lot of things.
Well, raising a child is hard work, and being a temp worker was the only option I had. Maybe if you quit your job and stay home, I could find a stable full-time job and support us.
Well, anything is possible.
There's something I've been meaning to tell you. A woman doesn't want to be financially dependent on her man. She wants to be able to support herself financially. That means I don't want to be stuck at home having you dictate what I can and can't buy because of our budget constraints. I want to earn my own money and spend it on whatever I want, whether you approve or not. You need to understand that. I'm not quitting my job just so I can stay home with Jenny.
Okay, Kayleen. I understand where you're coming from. My main concern was for our daughter's well-being. If you want to continue working late and aren't able to be home when Jenny is there, then we'll have to figure out another solution. Maybe we can hire a babysitter or ask one of our relatives to look after her.
Oh, there's something else I need to tell you. You know the debate competition Jenny has been preparing for this week after school? Well, there was a scheduling conflict with the basketball tournament, and they had to move her debate competition to next week.
Next week? That might be difficult for me. I'll have to rearrange some things. I already requested the afternoon off for this week, but I don't know if I can do it again for next week. Let's not mention this change in schedule to Jenny until we're sure whether or not we can make it. It would break her heart if we weren't there for her debate competition. Let me see if I can rearrange my schedule at work. I should know by Friday whether or not it'll be possible for me.
Don't worry. Even if you can't make it, one of us will be there for her. She'll have someone there cheering her on.
Okay then. If her debate isn't this week, then I guess I'll tell my boss that I won't need the afternoon off after all. Hopefully, someone will be able to cover for me next week.
Okay, we won't mention anything about this change in schedule to Jenny until we're sure.
Dad, where are you at this moment? I've been searching for you everywhere.
Right now, I'm still at the office, sweetheart. Is there something you need from me? Don't worry, I'll make sure to be home in time for our dinner together.
Whatever. I can't believe you would just cancel our plans without even having the courtesy to inform me.
What are you talking about?
I'm really upset with you right now. I don't even want to see your face anymore.
What? Jenny, what happened? Did I do something that upset you? Can you tell me what it is that I did wrong? Jenny, are you still there? Jenny, please talk to me. I'm worried about you. Is Jenny at home right now? I was hoping to have a chat with her.
No, she's not. Why do you ask?
Well, earlier today, Jenny sent me a message saying that she hates me. It's left me quite perplexed. Did I do something to upset her?
Maybe. I'm not entirely sure. But you know how teenagers are. They're at a rebellious age where the smallest things can set them off. I don't think you should worry too much about it. It might be best to give her some space for a few days and let her cool off.
I'm not so sure. I feel like it might be better if I talk to her and try to understand what's bothering her.
Trust me, that might just end up making things worse. She's not going to appreciate her father prying into her personal matters. I understand how girls her age feel. Let's just give her some space for a few days and let me handle this, okay?
Maybe you're right. Alright then, I'll leave it up to you.
Good. I'll take care of everything. For now, just keep your distance from her. And don't worry about her debate competition either. I'll be there for her so you don't have to. In fact, given the circumstances, it might be better if you didn't attend.
If you think that's best.
It's not uncommon for children to say things they don't mean in the heat of the moment. Don't take it too personally.
I suppose it's just that she's never said anything like that to me before.
Well, maybe she's been holding it in for a long time. Maybe she's been feeling neglected and unloved by you. Or she's been resenting you for always being busy with work and never spending time with her.
That's not true. I love Jenny more than anything in the world. I work hard to provide for her and give her a good life. I always try to make time for her whenever I can.
Well, maybe that's not enough for her. She needs more than just material things from you. She needs your attention, affection, guidance, and support.
But I do give her those things. I always listen to her when she talks to me.
Really?
What? What are you talking about? Jenny, what do you think about going for a drive tonight? Just you and me. It's been a while since we've had some quality time together, just the two of us. We could use this opportunity to catch up and talk about anything that's on your mind.
No, I don't feel like it.
Jenny, I've noticed that you've been avoiding me these past few days. I'm not sure why, and it's really bothering me. If I did something to upset you, I want to make it right. Can you at least tell me what's wrong? I'm here to listen.
It's about my debate. You never came to see it. You said you'd come. You promised.
Huh? Your debate? But isn't your debate scheduled for next week?
No, it's over.
What? Are you serious? Your mom told me it was rescheduled to next week.
It wasn't rescheduled.
Jenny, I'm so sorry.
It's not just that. You told Mom that I'm ugly and stupid, didn't you? Mom's friend told me you said it.
What? Jenny, I would never say anything like that. You're the most beautiful girl in the whole world, and I know you're smart. That's why you were chosen to join the debate. Everyone knows you're smart.
You're just saying that to make me feel better. And I know you stole some of my favorite clothes from my closet.
What? Why would I do that? Why would you think I would do any of those things? Jenny, you know how much you mean to me.
But, so, it wasn't you?
Sweetie, I would never do anything like that.
And you didn't say I was ugly and stupid?
I never said that. I swear. Anyway, Jenny, I'm so sorry. I missed your debate. I feel terrible. It's not next week? It's really over?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I don't know how this mix-up could have happened. I should have been there for you. I really wanted to go and watch you. I swear.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry too.
So, sweetie, who was it that said I was saying bad things about you? Which one of Mommy's friends?
The guy that Mom brought to my debate with her.
Huh?
I didn't know who it was, so I felt really strange when I saw him with her. And after the debate, the three of us went out for dinner. And her friend was acting like he had known me for a long time. He was way too friendly. It was kind of creeping me out.
Was it someone you know?
No, that was the first time I had ever seen him.
I see. How about we talk more about all of this tonight? And let's not tell Mom about our conversation, okay?
Okay, let's go out for dinner. We haven't done that together in a long time.
That sounds like a great idea. I'll be leaving the office in a few minutes. See you soon.
Okay.
That night, Jenny told me a bunch of things my wife had been doing. Most of what she told me were things that I didn't think should be coming from the mouth of a junior high student. Jenny and I agreed that we'd continue on with our daily lives for a little while as if nothing had happened. Just long enough for me to figure out what we should do next. During that time, my wife messaged me about a parent-teacher interview she had to go to on a Sunday. I guess she thought that Jenny was still upset with me and not speaking to me. She told me that she'd go to the meeting with Jenny and suggested that I go and visit my parents that day to take my mind off of Jenny and the parent-teacher interview. That's just the opportunity I was waiting for to put my plan into action. I'm currently at my parents' house. How are things on your end? Is everything going well?
Everything's going well here. The parent-teacher meeting isn't scheduled until later this afternoon. We're just taking it easy at home and watching some TV. It's a nice change of pace.
Wait, did you say you're at home? I thought you might be out somewhere.
Yes, why wouldn't I be? I'm just enjoying a quiet day at home.
Oh, I see. So you're living in a hotel now? That's news to me. I must have misunderstood something.
What are you talking about? Why would I be living in a hotel?
Well, to be honest, I'm not actually at my parents' house right now. I'm downtown, and guess what? I saw someone who looks exactly like you. She even went into a hotel with a man I've never seen before. She seemed really happy and excited. Maybe she had a double espresso this morning to kickstart her day.
That's interesting, but I'm sure you're mistaken. It must have been someone else who looks like me.
Are you sure? Because she's wearing the same suit you said you were going to wear to Jenny's parent-teacher interview today. The exact same dark blue blazer. The guy looked pretty dressed up too. I wonder if she's planning on going to the parent-teacher interview right after leaving the hotel. If it was you doing that, I'd be really upset.
I've already told you that's not me. You're obviously mistaken. It must have been someone else.
But I'm really curious to find out. If it's not you, then maybe you have a long-lost twin. If that's the case, I don't want to miss this opportunity to reunite you two. So I think I'll just wait outside the hotel until she comes out.
Okay. You want me to come out and say it, don't you? Yes, I'm cheating on you. Who cares? Sorry.
You admitted to that a lot faster than I thought you would.
Well, I couldn't stand your indirect accusations anymore. You're always so annoying. That's probably why Jenny hates you so much, too. By the way, I'm leaving you and moving in with my new boyfriend.
What? What are you talking about?
Exactly what I said. At first, I was going to make you take Jenny, but my boyfriend said he'd feel sorry for her if she wasn't with her mom. So he figured it'd be better if Jenny came to live with us.
Is that really what Jenny wants?
Of course. She doesn't want to live with you at all.
Well, Jenny is the one who told me that you'd likely be with that guy today.
What?
Do you really think I'm that naive? A parent-teacher meeting on a Sunday afternoon? That's quite unusual, don't you think? And by the way, Jenny mentioned that the guy you're with was trying a bit too hard to be nice to her. It was making her uncomfortable.
What are you talking about?
And she also mentioned how overly affectionate you were being with him. You were trying too hard to get Jenny to like him. She could tell that neither of you were acting like yourselves, especially you.
Ugh, that ungrateful child.
Kids aren't as naive as you think. They can see right through someone when they're being insincere.
Whatever. You and Jenny can do whatever you want. I'm leaving both of you. If you want, you can sue me for compensation money. I don't care. My boyfriend will pay it for me. He's wealthy, so it won't affect him at all.
You know, I don't think that guy is really interested in you.
What are you talking about?
Jenny told me that some of her clothes have gone missing from her room. Have you been inviting that guy over to our house?
Yes, he's been over, but her clothes are missing? Jenny's clothes?
He's the only person I can think of who would take them. Don't you think that might be why he was so insistent about Jenny moving in with you two?
No. He's not like that.
Why don't you just ask him? He's in the same room as you right now, isn't he? Hello? Are you still there?
He left.
What happened?
When I told him that after we divorce, I was going to have Jenny live with you instead of me. He said, well then there's no point in any of this, and just left.
Is that so? That's hilarious. Did that really just happen? Oh, some guy looking really upset just left the hotel. That must be him. Don't worry about it.
Hey, are you still there?
Yes, I'm here. I literally just sent you a message.
No, I mean, are you still standing in front of the hotel?
Yes, why do you ask?
I'm in room 405. Why don't you come up here?
What are you talking about?
I'm sorry for all the harsh things I said to you earlier. I realize now that I was wrong. I promise not to behave like that again. Can we talk this over?
That's not possible right now. So just hurry up and get down here.
Why not? It wasn't my fault. He deceived me. I had no idea he was that kind of person.
You're only saying that because now you know he wasn't really interested in you.
But he promised me the glamorous life I've always wanted. How could I resist such an offer? He lied to me. He's the bad guy, not me. You can't blame me. Any girl would be taken in by that.
But women don't want to be supported by their man. They want to be able to support themselves financially, right?
Shut up. I take back what I said before.
I'm not talking about what you said before. That's what the person beside me is saying right now. Your boss at your current temp position.
What?
I looked into it and found out right away. The guy you were cheating on me with is your boss's husband, isn't it? I'm down here in the lobby with your boss. We were both here the whole time. She grabbed her husband as he was trying to leave the hotel.
Just wait. Is she really downstairs, Mrs. Peterson?
Yeah, that's why I told you to hurry up and get down here. We're all waiting for you.
What? No way. I'm not going down there. You have to do something.
There is no getting out of this now. Mrs. Peterson is suing both you and her husband for your affair. Oh, and you can bet that I'll be doing the same. You don't even want to imagine how much this is going to cost you with both of us suing you. But you'll have no problem paying for it, right? Because you've been working all that overtime for the past couple months, right? After that, Kaylin tried to sneak out a back way, but we had planned for that, and Mrs. Peterson caught her on her way out. Knowing there was no way she could talk her way out of this one, she decided just to bawl like a little baby. I don't know why she thought it would work. Neither of us were feeling any pity for her. Instead, I just took that time to contact her parents and tell them why I was going to be divorcing their daughter. They apologized for their daughter's actions and tried to get me to reach a settlement with them instead of taking Kaylin to court for compensation money. But I knew I'd win in court, and I knew I'd get a lot more out of her if I did it that way. All those nights, Kaylin said she was working overtime. She was really out with her boyfriend, so she had nothing saved up to pay me with. Because of that, what she owed me was taken out of what I would have to give her in the divorce, so she ended up getting nothing from me. Needless to say, Mrs. Peterson fired Kaylin immediately after catching her with her husband. Kaylin was left with no man, no money, no job, and a big debt she had to pay to Mrs. Peterson. Kaylin had no choice but to move back in with her parents. I don't know what happened to her after that because Jenny and I moved away so that we'd never have to see her again. So, my daughter and I started our new life together, just the two of us. Jenny taught me how to do the laundry and all the other chores around the house. At first, I felt a little stupid having my daughter show me how to do such easy things, but I actually enjoyed the time we spent together as she taught me. She's even agreed to teach me everything that she learns in her home economics class. Every weekend, we make dinner together and we've grown closer than ever. Sometimes the meals don't turn out as good as we wanted, but even those times are fun. Now, dinners with my daughter are the best times of my week.